Previously on Survivor Canberra versus the World. At the Ginninderra tribe, after John flipped on the old Currawongs, Bethany and Eden found themselves at the bottom of the tribe and in need of some kind of magic.
So I don't know what we're going to do. Eden and I are going to have to work some kind of magic.
Their situation had a glimmer of hope when Eden found the defector advantage that Sabrina originally failed to acquire. At the Currawong tribe, the rift between Oscar and Andrew grew as the two plotted against each other.
Oscar may not be the most trustworthy, may be looking for other interests.
While Oscar curried favour with Aiden, Andrew used an idol clue to build trust with Sabrina and Pauline. At the Swamp of Sadness, Amy's fairy tale run continued when she beat Anthea in a slingshot challenge, chalking up her third dual win in a row. At the Immunity Challenge, Liv and Dan announced that both tribes would be going to Tribal Council, with one player from each tribe winning individual immunity. Todd and Andrew came out on top of the Grueling Memory Challenge to win individual immunity in their respective tribes. Back at the Currawong camp, the Canberrans had free rein to boot Aiden, Squin, or even blindside Oscar. As the tribe tossed up their options, Sabrina was wary of Oscar's growing bond with Aiden.
I think that I want to vote out Aiden, purely because him and Oscar are getting a little bit close.
Back at the Ginninderra camp, Bethany and Eden's situation looked similarly dire to Aiden and Squin. Ed, Todd and John locked in on voting for Eden. However, Bethany and Eden hustled hard to convince Lauren that John could not be trusted.
Hopefully we've got through to Lauren a little bit maybe. And that's really my only hope right now.
At the Currawong Tribal Council, Aiden and Squin's plight did prove to be helpless. Squin was ultimately voted out unanimously, and Aiden lived to fight another day. At the Ginninderra Tribal Council, Bethany and Eden fought to convince the Canberrans to turn on John and send him to the Swamp of Sadness. 10 players remain, who will be voted out tonight.
You too.
I know. I feel like we got dipped.
I think so too.
Oh, it's just, I understand like the complexities of the game and voting and stuff, but just to have people lie to your face and then knowing you're going into Tribal Council that was a lie and that you're going home, it's a pretty big pill to swallow. I think by the time it got down to, I think once they voted Maddie out,
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
then we were even lowering numbers in that last Tribal Council, Aiden and I knew for sure it's
I
definitely
thought I was
Oscar.
getting a connection with a couple of those guys there.
I am a bit surprised because I asked every other member of the original Ginninderra tribe individually what name was out there, who they're going to vote for. They all said Aiden, so I'd voted for Aiden as well just to protect myself, to make sure there was strength in numbers. And obviously they all just lied to my face. Yeah, so the thing is, the Ginninderra crew brought up this whole thing about we don't vote for tribal lines now, this is our new tribe. And then they were the ones that ended up voting by tribal lines and threw us all out anyway.
Oh, we were.
Hi!
Welcome to my swamp.
Wow, okay.
Hello.
If I get back in the game and have a merge, I'll have some good intel on the people from the Ginninderra tribe that I worked with, because they're obviously really tight-knit, and even though in the previous Tribal Council they were the ones that said we can't vote by tribal lines, we have to try and see the team as it is in front of us, and they've gone against exactly what they've said.
Well, as you can see, I'm the only one here at the swamp.
Yeah.
Where are the others?
We've already had 3 duels.
Oh.
A duel?
3 duels.
Right.
Different, each one was different. Each one was challenging, and I won 3 of them.
Wow,
Fantastic.
well done. So this
Thank
is
you.
why you're still in the swamp.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh, so the others have gone. You've been here by yourself.
I have. It's really just been me
A little bit spooky.
talking to the birds.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely shakes things up having 2 people enter my little swamp area. I mean, that leads me to believe that it's not going to be a duel, it's going to be whatever 3 version of a duel is. A thrall? Is that a thing? I don't know.
When he knew that Anthea's name was getting bandied around, he then played it to save Anthea. And they said, this is an idol, but it's only valid for the Currawong tribe.
Oh my God.
I think the Swamp of Sadness, I'm fine. It's, objective 1 was to not be first person voted out. Objective 2 was to make it through to day 2. Well, if I've got another chance to that, well, I've achieved that objective, so that's fine. Then he told us that Anthea left with another advantage, and that advantage was that she could send someone to another tribe or go to another tribe herself.
Oh.
But this round just now, he was telling me that he had that.
Oh.
So when the question was, did anyone have an advantage, and nothing came up, I thought, hello, we're in with a chance here. If everything goes as I thought it should, Eden would have been gone. But so it looks like
And then you ended up getting voted off.
I got voted off by a majority. Maybe I spun things up a bit too much and they weren't too happy with that. So I thought I had a couple of them on board. You know,
These bloody young people, mate.
got a bit of respect, you know.
Yeah. I was trying to be diplomatic, but now I think I'm pretty good at holding a grudge, so there will be revenge if I can have it.
Come on in. Okay, so the Currawong and Ginninderra tribes, both looking at new tribes.
Yeah.
We had John voted out of the tribe and Squin. Okay, nomads, come on in.
Alright, Squin, Amy and John, welcome to your final duel. The winner of this duel will be getting back into the game. And we've got a captive audience waiting to see who that is as well. So John and Squin, this is a bit raw for you at the moment, I'm assuming. So John, how are you feeling after that last tribal council?
Well, I've only just walked down to the swamp and now I'm back again. So the last tribal council, well, there's some conversations to be had maybe, but that's okay.
And Squin, how was it for you going to the Swamp of Sadness after that tribal council where you got voted out?
Look, not gonna lie, it's pretty annoyed, but probably proof that my gut is usually always right. I knew that Aiden and I were backed into a corner, that it was going to be one of us. People said Aiden to my face, but something in my gut just told me it was me that was going to get voted out, so I wasn't really surprised, but I was still annoyed.
And Amy, you've been at the Swamp of Sadness all day. You won 3 duels to get to this point. What would it mean for you now to win this final duel and win your way back into the game after being there all day?
I mean, winning's always good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it would be great. I mean, also, I had a lovely day at the swamp. It's delightful if you ever want a little peace and quiet. But
We could rename it Amy's Swamp.
if you could, I would like Queen Amy's swamp.
Yeah, it shall be done.
Thank you, thank you. But yeah, I mean, it'd be great to win and take out all of the jewels.
Yeah, absolutely. So welcome to your final duel. Now in this duel, in the final duel, or truel if you will, of the season, the nomads must balance a wooden cube on top of a long pole. The nomads will start by balancing one cube and must hold the pole from below the black line. At regular intervals, Liv and Dan will instruct the nomads to add more cubes. If a nomad's cube falls off the pole at any time, then they will be out of the challenge and therefore the game for good. The last nomad standing will return to the game.
Nomads, ready? Go.
All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Challenge is on. Alright.
After a long day, this is a lot of concentration.
A lot of concentration, a lot of balance, a lot of willpower. And that's what it's going to come down to. Who has the most willpower? Who wants to get back into this game the most?
Maybe seek some revenge.
Seek some revenge, seek some justice. Whatever's on your mind, you can achieve if you get back into the game.
Everyone is holding very steady at the moment.
Amy's won 3 jewels to get through to this point. It would be an absolutely amazing feat.
Amazing.
She won all 4 jewels on the day, won way back into the game. Don't lose that concentration. As soon as your mind starts wavering, start thinking about who you're going to vote out when you get back into the game. That Cupid for.
Now that your arm starts getting a bit sore, your balance starts going a little bit. John looking very steady. There's a few wobbles on the end, but still everyone's very steady. Really good job. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can drop
Grab
your cubes.
Good job, everyone.
Well done. Okie dokie. We are going to give you 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Wins out. She couldn't hold
5,
it. Amy is
4.
out. John wins the final jewel.
Well done, John.
Congratulations.
That was
Matter of
unexpected.
seconds.
Yeah, that's how quickly it can happen.
How quickly it can happen. All right.
Wow.
John, congratulations. It was literally a matter of seconds.
That was very close.
You will be back in the game. So well done. Amy, we've got to have a chat with you here because you've been with these jewels all day. You've really defied the odds. You've been absolutely amazing. So we thank you for staying at the swamp all day. So thank you for playing and thank you for coming here. But your journey does end here. Squin, a shorter time at the swamp for you, but you played amazing. But your journey does also end here. Thank you so much. So Squin and Amy, you can head on out.
I just have to give John one last. Good luck, mate. I'm rooting for you.
So John, I do have a prize for you for winning the final jewel. So I'll get you to reach into this bag and you can grab your prize out. You can get in there.
Okay.
Alright, so that is a pink buff, which
It is a
means
pink buff.
we are merging. You can all drop your buffs. Congratulations. Alright,
Congratulations.
drop your yellow buff, you can put the pink one on.
Oh, I feel ecstatic about making the merge. It's every survivor's dream. One of the things to tick off is making merge.
I'm very excited to make the merge. Obviously, day one was a really tough one for me. Pretty much every tribal council I went to, I was in danger. So to make it here is something I'm very proud of.
I'm back.
As far as John coming back into the game, I was really not hoping that would happen, and then it did. So I will have to see how I can move
with that. I don't know if there's any chance of working with him, and I don't know if I want to.
I thought we could be team honest.
Anyone know any local words for sunset?
Yeah.
Does anyone know any?
Does anyone know any words in
Like
any
pink,
Aboriginal
purple,
language?
sunset.
Well, I'm looking forward to today. I'm glad I made it through the first day, and it's exciting to be here again. And let's see what happens. I'll be playing a bit interesting today.
International, like that, all the worlds have come together.
What about like Gondwana land or Gondwana?
Yes,
like
I love that.
You know, like the continent where we're all separated?
I like that.
That's good.
Gondwana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Thirsty John comes into camp, idol medallion hanging off, or suspected idol medallion hanging off the new tribe flag. My only criticism, it took him like 5 minutes before I could get it off.
It's got to be big.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would just have it mid once. I got told to mid once if usually make priorities.
We were both ultimately.
You guys are warriors.
It was fine as long as you didn't sleep on your side.
Just rip it off. You're that thirsty. It was like hungry hippos, except the hippo's mouth was just, not it should be,
Good thinking though, like on the whole like world.
Not shy about it.
Yeah, well, everyone's noticed, John. Took you 10 minutes to get it off.
Hey, we're not putting you on knots again.
I do feel like I may be on the bottom of the barrel, and I don't know if that's an idol. It was last time. And I had the pole lined up with a pole in the background.
Oh, okay.
And then I just held it there, and then so I could remain in focus, I kept looking around at you guys and everyone else. I'm not shy, I'm getting this idol. I'm pretty sure it's an idol, because those were the idols that we used when we had separate tribes. So everyone knows I've got it.
All eyes on you.
You know, I could hear chatter in the background about, somebody's wobbling or someone's looking strong. And I thought, and then it was like, this is a mental game. A mental game will get you through. And I'm like, that's all right.
John came back into the game. That was my worst case scenario. My least favourable outcome.
I actually thought I was on the lower end of our own numbers.
Yeah.
When we swapped, even though we had 4.
Yeah.
Right now the lines are me and Bethany with Luz, Ed and Todd. And on the other side, you've got Sabrina, Pauline, Oscar, Andrew. They've got Aiden, and I think they've got John now. John will crawl right back to Aiden.
The creek.
And that's literally a swamp there.
I think I'm in a very good position. I think I'm in a very solid position. I think I've set myself up well. I think I've got maybe a little bit in the middle, in that I think I've got people on both sides.
And then they all voted against me, didn't they, Lauren?
We did all vote against you. It wasn't just us though.
No, it wasn't. It was,
Everyone.
I think John has shown us that he's ready to flip-flop. I think that's what it is. Like, I don't think he's necessarily moving forward with strategy. He's flip-flopping, so I don't have a lot of trust there.
Everyone was throwing your name out there, including their own people, and sometimes for peace and harmony, just...
Yeah, I know.
Luz is running the show. She's phenomenal. She's really smart. Just having that one-on-one with her, I realised, holy shit, she's got a great brain.
Maddie and then Squin and I, we were talking and we knew it was going to be one of us.
Yeah.
We went to them and we sort of said, we'll do what we can to see if we can find a way through.
I don't know about Aiden. I think Aiden will just back to John. If we could get like John or Aiden out, that would obviously work.
So something clearly funky.
John flipped on
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and voted out.
So you flipped with the old yellows?
Yeah, and then at the next tribal, they decided that was quite untrustworthy, so they took him out.
That's poetic justice, isn't
Yeah.
it? I have a feeling, and I'm not 100% sure why, but Eden is just someone that's hard for me to trust. Obviously, he's an old Karawong member, so I don't necessarily need him gone straight away. What are your thoughts with John then?
Well, John and I voted for each other at the last tribal. I have a feeling he'll be coming for me, but if possible, there's only 4 of us left from the world, so I would like us to be able to work together.
Yeah, we're an endangered species, aren't we? So we do have to watch each other's backs a little bit.
I think we do.
We still have the defector's advantage, the safety without power, and it's only good for one more tribal council. So my plan right now is to use it at the merge vote. Well, the colour of John's one was blank, so I don't know if that means it's not an idol, because maybe it would have been pink if it was an idol.
Could have been, or it could just mean it's just an idol now. And
it's just an idol, it can be played anywhere. Yeah.
So, when I told you I was voting for Eden, I was voting for Eden.
Yeah.
My vote changed after that, so I wanted to let you know I didn't lie to you. I was at that point in time, I was voting for him.
Yeah.
I honestly see Todd as a really big threat. Just, obviously I don't know what's happened on the other side, but I feel like he was calling the shots on our side, an original tribe.
So like I'm still like, I got a good vibe from you straight away, and I was trying to get the vote on Eden because I didn't trust Eden, but I just couldn't get the numbers there.
Yeah.
So I think if I was going to flip, I would try to take him out, but I am also concerned that he has an idol. So it would have to be a clean blindside.
Like I feel we could play the people that we were with because they think we were open to working with them, which we weren't.
I think the old Canberra crew will reconnect and stay Canberra strong for the first couple of tribals.
Aiden would be an easy vote because he would have been the next one, obviously.
Yeah. I think though, Eden found an idol yesterday and he's very dangerous. I think we know the old man has the idol now. So we've split.
I feel like they're going to target me or Bethany. Like, why would they target an original yellow? Because they can keep up the illusion that, oh, we're Canberrans strong, even if that's not the case. So
there's enough yellows, so should we split John and Eden or something, given how much of a threat Eden is, or what's your thoughts?
And obviously it depends on what relationship Eden might have on the other side, but someone like him could be in danger because I figure the Canberra members don't want to eat one of their own straight away.
You should be cool because I want to keep working with you, and I think the three of us from yesterday, and I'm telling you the three of us, so take that as you want to interpret.
Early merge, I might be in a pretty good spot because the old swap tribes have 5 members each, and coming back from the Swamp of Sadness is John, who's just been voted out by his old tribe. John and I have a pretty good relationship from our starting tribe, and if the swap lines are going to hold, we can probably pull John over, which would give us a majority, at least for the first vote, maybe 2.
Check in with the old yellow, as you can imagine. And we need to check in with them and see where things are at, but I'd like you to stay as long as we can, because let's be real, yellow has to start eating each other.
Eventually, yes.
And I have been with you longer.
Andy just annoys people. No one likes Andy in terms of his gameplay because he wants to be this strategic power player and play people up against each other, but he's not building rapport or relationships in the first place. So it's just rubbing people the wrong way.
So I'm going to work with Wolverine.
I really like Sad and Pauline.
Yeah.
I really like Lauren.
Yeah.
But I'm getting a feeling from her that she's not very open.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey. We just we haven't had a chance to talk at all.
Do you mind if we just have a? Do you mind if?
Yeah,
is that okay?
We literally haven't met.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I just want. I want to meet you as well.
My only hope at the moment is just to rely on the people that I have made connections with in the swap, and hopefully build some new connections with people I haven't met yet. So the 2 yellow women and Oscar. But just know that I'm here for you. If you're here for me, and we can work together.
Yeah, and I think the reality is there's a majority of yellow now, but there's only one.
It's not going to last.
The mathematics doesn't add up.
Yeah.
And I think then.
But there's always room. There's always
shifting sides.
Yeah.
The other thing I am giving birth to today, and I'm proud to announce, is the dodo strategy. So this is a dodo egg, and the point of the dodo strategy is to lay dodo eggs for other people to work on. How is the dodo population going these days? That's right, 0. Because what the point of this is, give people a dodo egg so they can sit on all day. They can warm it as much as they want, but nothing ever hatching out of it. It will lead them to extinction, and that will lead me to be the winner.
Come on in. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Good one.
Perfect.
All right. Welcome back, Merge Tribe.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations on making the merge. Yeah, big feat in Survivor, so that's awesome. Loz, how was your night camping?
It was fine. It was quiet. No one snored.
No snorers?
No snorers.
Oh, that's the new thing for Survivor camper as well. Yeah.
Might be back here permanently.
Yeah, well, we hope everyone got plenty of rest because it's another big day ahead. Todd, can you tell us about the tribe name and how you came to that decision?
Yeah, the tribe name is Gondwana, representing the original one big land altogether, which represents Canberra and also the world coming together as one tribe.
Very symbolic.
Absolutely,
I
love it. Yeah, well done.
Well, you ready to get to your next challenge?
Yeah.
Wonderful, yeah, excitement. Well, we are playing for immunity, so Andrew, Todd, we need the immunity necklaces back, please. Thank you. Oh, you gave it to me. Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, so for this challenge, we don't need both immunity necklaces, we just need one. Put that down here. All right, so individual immunity back up for grabs. So let's get to our challenge.
In this challenge, players will have to balance a bottle at the end of a seesaw using only their foot as the counterweight, while their other foot is balanced on a cinder block. If a player's bottle falls off their seesaw or the player loses balance and comes off the cinder block, then they are out of the challenge. The last player remaining wins individual immunity and is safe from the vote. 3, 2, 1. The challenge is on. Okay, we've already got a few people out of this challenge.
All right, so who's out? We've got Eden out, we've got Todd out, we've got Oscar out, and Pauline out as well.
That was quick.
That was quick. This is not an easy challenge. It's going to burn those quads. They're going to be like fire soon. So we've got Aiden, Andrew, John. Oh, Aiden's out as I say that. Andrew with a little wobble, but he's okay now. Everyone else looking pretty comfortable at the moment.
This is not easy, Dan.
Not easy at all. John's out.
And we are down to
John, just where you are, yep.
5. I can't count.
Down to 5, yep. Lauren looking really steady. She's actually managed to stand up straight where everyone's got a bent knee. Possibly just long legs. Yeah.
Handy in this challenge.
Yeah.
Andrew's grabbing at that right leg.
Yeah, Bethany looking like she's in a bit of pain. Have those squats in the gym paid off. Who needs this the most? This is historically the most. Ooh, Bethany out. Just sit down where you are, Bethany.
Good effort.
Merge Tribal Council, historically the most chaotic tribal council. Be a great time to have immunity. Great time not to have to stress.
Oh, wobble there with
Andrew
Andrew.
teetering. Just trying to keep a light touch on that plank. The shakes are happening for a few now. So Andrew, Ed, Sab and Loz still in this challenge.
Ed's out.
Surprisingly out of nowhere, loses his balance.
3 left.
Loz looking like she could go all day. With that, Andrew is out of the challenge. We're down to 2. Sab and Loz. That's the last 2 seasons. Anything to go by? Some crazy stuff.
Some chaos will happen. Oh, Sab's getting a bit wobbly there. She's held it.
Good save, Sab.
Great save. Well done, ladies. This is awesome.
Yeah, amazing effort.
Really good job. Keep pushing.
You've outlasted 9 other people to get here. Keep fighting until you're the winner. How long have you got left in your Loz? Good all day, good all night. How about you, Sab? Same. Could be here a while then.
Oh, there we go.
Sab, out of the
challenge. Great
Loz
effort.
wins individual immunity. You can step down, Loz.
Still going.
You really did want to be here all
Well
day.
done, Loz.
Congrats. All right, Loz, congratulations.
Well done.
Individual immunity. What an amazing effort. Come and get it.
Do you want me to put it on for you?
So Loz, safe from the merge vote. No one can vote you out. For everyone else, you will be up for grabs. So we'll give you a bit of time and then we'll see you at Tribal Council. Head on out.
Job.
As ready as I
No, yeah, you did so well.
What was everyone doing? Because the ones who kept it up, like, what were they doing right? Because I had no idea what to do. Like, I was struggling the whole way.
Right now I'm feeling great. Winning that first individual immunity, it's just a nice win, you know? It's not necessarily a win I needed.
When everyone gets the chance, if we write our names around the outside of the name
Do
on
we have a pen?
Yeah.
Oh,
I put it
I
like
better
that.
get quick because it might be here long. Yeah.
I think there's a few options. I think the vote could be going for Eden. I think the vote could be going for John. I think the vote could be going for Aiden. I think all 3 of them are neck and neck. My preference is to keep Eden.
Do you think we put more on? I think, like you said, we don't want to stir the pot.
I reckon
Aiden's
Aiden.
already had a fair few votes
Yeah, but I
against
want
it.
John to play that line.
But Ed,
No, but I reckon John and Eden.
so if they stick together 4 strong and John plays the idol for himself.
They won't.
Okay. But Eden has been so dangerous.
He's not dangerous. How's he dangerous? What's he done?
Didn't he have an idol?
Yeah, it didn't work.
Sure. But I mean, I agree it didn't work, but does he have the capacity to do more of that?
I don't think Aiden has any. Eden is not as strategic or dangerous as everyone thinks he is. John is a risk to all of us while he's still here, and Aiden is just a loose vote that I don't want floating around on the edge. Boys on John,
Yep.
girls on Aiden.
And then if it's a tie,
It's a tie.
it's John.
I'm happy with that.
Okay. Well, at the moment, it's boys voting for John, girls voting for Aiden. I think those 2 are the easiest ones. Like you said, we're not stirring the pot.
Well, they're the wild cards, and once they're gone, then we can actually battle it out a little bit. Everyone at least feels that.
Yep,
I think it's more an
we're
even
gonna
thing.
have 5 at the next vote, hopefully to their 5.
If they stick 5 strong on the other side.
So my people on the merged tribe, Ed and Todd still, Beth and Eden still, and Pauline. I always feel good with Pauline. If it's boys on John and girls on Aiden, who goes home? Does John go home?
Yeah, if he does
Oh,
it.
that's
Yeah.
Okay. I'm fine with him going
Okay.
home.
But we're in danger because then the 5 of them will gang up on us.
Yes. I'm hearing Aiden's name get thrown out by the swapped Ginninderra tribe. We actually got along so well with Aiden in the swapped world tribe, and I don't want to see him go.
Our original tribe, we are at the bottom.
I know.
Yeah.
And they want to vote.
They want to get rid of Aiden.
I don't want. We don't. We've all worked with Aiden.
And he's got no alliances.
We need to. It has to be Eden. But how can we get rid of Eden?
I would like Eden to go. Loz and I got along really well on the first Ginninderra tribe, and I consider her to be a close ally, but she wants Aiden to go over Eden, and I'm concerned that that's just her gathering numbers for herself, and if we lose one of our numbers on the old Currawong tribe, then, you know, that's not good for me. Do we have the numbers? So there's 3 of us.
If they're doing a 4, there's...
Wait, we need 3 of us.
No, we
John.
have 4.
Who's 4?
Us
Sab.
4.
Should we go talk to Sab and John right now?
Aiden.
Let's go talk to
Yeah,
Sab and
have a
John.
chat. Let's have a chat. Yeah.
I'm potentially on the weaker faction of the yellow tribe because we wanted to keep Aiden, but they're gunning for Aiden, and I think they really are protective of Eden.
So I need to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like,
What
we
is
haven't had a
happening with the
chance.
split? Like...
I don't fucking know.
That's because that's where, yeah, we just need to be like solid on the split so then they can.
So we
'cause
asked Woody and John and
Aiden.
But this is the
Sorry,
problem.
poor Aiden.
No, so Loz and all that are very adamant. We have to. The backup has to be Aiden.
Yeah.
They want to use Eden and New Zealand lady. And yeah, and if we give away Aiden, we're in the weaker position.
Agreed.
But I think we could be backing ourselves into a corner that we can't get out of.
Like, I like linking up with the 3, but like the 4 of us being like the 4.
The majority in
Yeah.
that 7. Oscar isn't gunning for Andrew anymore, and Andrew isn't gunning for Oscar, and so us 4 will. Our plan is to be the final 4.
Yeah. My problem is I think that 3 have actually adopted their 2.
It would make sense, I suppose, to go down the line. That's an easy way to do it. I just don't think down the line I have like agency. I just think I would be along for the ride, and I don't really want to be along for the ride, so I'm trying to make a move now.
Yep.
If I tell you guys a name, would you be, like, a new play driver, would you be willing to go on it?
Mate, I think I'm on the bottom of the barrel at the moment, so I'm up for anything.
I can vouch for Oscar. We've been working together in that old tribe.
Okay.
You can trust him, right?
And he can tell you that he trusts me.
I trust John. I do trust John.
Because we were working together.
We were working. He's the only one left who didn't write my name down that first vote.
I would like to vote Todd out. I think he's a huge threat. I know we were going to stick yellow strong, and it would make sense, I suppose, to go down the line. That's an easy way to do it. I have a name, but if you guys have a suggestion.
No, please.
I think Todd's a threat.
I agree.
And I think we should take him out now.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
Straight up.
because I think he's calling the shots.
I think it could be.
So I think it's important for me to make moves now that even if they are riskier, I will have something to say down the line, and also hopefully those moves do give me like more control over my own game. I'm not intimidated, but I think Todd is huge.
That's what I mean. That's why I want that 5, I think, work.
I'm intentionally putting myself in a more uncomfortable position right now to further my game, and hopefully it works.
I feel that I can trust you. I feel that, like, even though I haven't spoken to you, like, literally in 24 hours, I feel like you're someone I really want to work with across today.
Yep, perfect. No, I think the same.
Thank you. And obviously, like, just as women, our numbers are dwindling slightly.
Yeah.
So it would be great to not target any other women this round. There's only been 1 man voted out. And frankly, we have pink buffs, and I'm not going to stand for that. Like, we can't let that happen. I don't want to see that, like, you know, us go out, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's clever.
hopefully I can sort of rally with the women and move between the cracks. John he was a revolving door really, like we voted him out and then 10 minutes later he's back.
Yeah.
Great.
Doesn't count, huh?
No, well yeah, I mean he knows we all voted for him though, so that's the other thing.
So would we want to maybe target him just to...
I don't know, did you see him pick up that idol of the flag? It was very
I
obvious.
did.
So
Everybody saw it.
we all saw John grab the idol off the flag, however it doesn't have any pink stuff painted on the back, which is making us think that maybe it's not like an idol, because the other ones certainly did have specific colours painted on them.
So do we think that one's an idol?
That one
doesn't
didn't
have
have
pink paint
It
on
didn't
the
have
back.
pink on the back.
Okay.
So, and I just think if they did it for the pre-merge, why would they do it for the merge, knowing everyone
it's
would
too
know?
obvious, yeah.
So it could be, but
Yeah.
I mean, we could still take the shot.
At John.
I obviously am pushing for it not to be Eden, because that would be horrible after what we just went through to get here.
So if you had to pick between the two, you're saying say Eden.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Look, I want to play the game with people who are here to play the game.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not.
Okay.
Well, I just feel like there's no conversation I could have with Aiden
Yeah, sure.
to convince him of anything.
Yeah.
I felt the same with John. Like, anytime I would bring up a strategy, it would be dismissed.
Yeah.
Like he was always had to be the loudest voice in the group. And I think that the vote will probably be split between John and Aiden or Eden, with Aiden and Eden being like the backup targets.
We kind of agreed up there around, that idols are very dangerous.
Yeah, we were just talking about that too.
And the brazenness of it.
But then you have to understand that we did just vote him
Yeah.
out, so
Yeah.
he's
Oh, yeah.
obviously
He has
feels
nothing
like
to
he's got
lose.
nothing to
Yeah,
lose.
yeah.
Right.
So-
Which is a dangerous place to be in.
Exactly.
The Canberrans don't want to get rid of a Canberran, so it's going to be one of us four. And I just don't think Bethany's name's out there. I think my name's out there. Everyone knows I have the idol. The name that I was throwing out was John.
Yeah.
Because I think he's never going to work with us anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that's a name the Canberrans could get on board for. I have a feeling he will be targeting me. I tried to suss out if Aiden would flip, but I don't think he will. I have a feeling I'm the opposite side's target. I've spoken to Aiden and tried to reconnect with him, but I can tell he's just not interested. He wasn't giving me anything. I think Aiden is still loyal to John, even if he says
I think Aiden has little strategic value, and I think Andrew knows that. Like he won't. Andrew knows that Aiden will do whatever he's told. I think.
What I'm thinking is it might be just great for me to yeet out of there myself, because I don't think Bethany's name's out there. So I feel like I don't think they're going to change to Bethany. I feel like they'll change it to John, if anyone. I'm going to walk out. I'll yeet off. Enjoy it.
You've got to review that before the vote, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, are we still going with boys voting for John? Girls voting for Aiden? Okay.
Okay. People think I've been playing quite hard, which, to be fair, I think I have been. So yeah, I'd be surprised if I wasn't a target this tribal.
They're convinced that you're this massive strategic threat.
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, yeah. They know. They know Eden.
They know.
And I'm like, Eden's the most transparent person I've ever met.
Eden, I don't really trust him. He wrote my name down that first vote on the revotes. I do think he's a very good player, probably one of the better players here.
I'll just put it out there. I assume you're voting for me.
People are asking me who I vote for and what names have been thrown out.
Yeah.
I'm hearing 3 names from the other tribe, and I'm saying I'd vote for Eden.
Okay. Is there any way we can change that?
If you can align with voting one of the other yellows out,
Yeah, we could
and
do
which
that.
is not Eden.
I could do that.
If you can align with voting a yellow out, I will not write your name down.
What's the benefit to you of him doing that, though?
I don't write his name down,
So?
and I don't keep talking about him.
Yeah, well, I would vote for Andrew.
I'm putting his name out there.
I know. We know it's out there.
I know.
John's grabbed the world map off the tribe flag again 2 seconds after we got there in front of everyone. Oh, I need this. Like, he has no strategy, and he walks around and confuses people.
You asked, I'm telling you.
I know, no, I respect it.
So if you want me to backpedal on all that,
I don't,
can.
but I think they're a big, strong group, and there's only 4 worlds left.
Not happy.
No. Look.
Not happy.
No.
Yeah. She wants Aiden. She wants to keep the yellow strong.
Wait, John.
I don't super see a path to the end for John, but if he got to the end, you know, coming back from the swamp of sadness, like, that's quite a good story.
Number one on my hit list is Eden.
Okay.
Because I think he's the one who, plotted against me.
Yep.
I could be wrong. This
Yeah, for sure.
I see this play back and, okay.
Yep.
But I think he's a player.
Yep.
I think he knows what he's doing. I think he's had hidden idols and hidden things that he hasn't shared.
Yep.
So I just think I don't trust him.
Yep. I'm really worried that I'm a goat in this game. I haven't made any moves yet. That's partly, deliberate strategy and things like that. But at some point I'm going to have to make a move.
I've heard 3 names bandied around.
Tell me more.
I will tell you more.
Thank you.
Andrew's talking about Eden, and Oscar's talking about Todd.
Yeah, who else have you heard?
So the 3 I've heard
Yep.
from your tribe,
Yep.
from different sources.
Yeah, for sure. Don't need to reveal.
Andrew,
Oh, yeah.
Todd,
Mm-hmm.
Oscar.
Shit. We're throwing out a lot of names of our own
We are.
tribe, hey.
Mm.
I'd be comfortable with an Eden vote.
Aiden seemed to have an alliance with Oscar. Oscar's thrown out Todd's name. It's probably not the name I would have gone for. Okay, I'm a free agent. I'm listening.
Free agent.
Free agent John.
I'm a free agent. Free agent, and I'll take my right-hand man with me, Aiden.
What's Eden been like on your tribe? Because my interactions with him were pretty short.
It's actually it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he's strategic. I think he's
yeah, maybe
he knows what's going
maybe
on.
he is. Maybe I'm being manipulated by him a fair bit.
I
So
mean,
I
he
don't
did-
see him as anything of a threat, but he hasn't, like, apart from the couple of times he put his name up.
Seems like there's a majority who have said that Aiden's probably the easiest person to get rid of right now. It seems like it's the one that's going to stir the pot the least. It will keep everyone happiest.
You know, you were someone I want to, whatever, because even just at that mini challenge, it's got a good feeling straight up.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we can just keep each other in the loop.
Well, John can't trust me anymore because I've said the same things to John. I've voted for
I
him in the
understand.
past.
Well, we got
John, you can't trust me as far
And
as
even
you
if you're
throw me.
telling me now,
I know.
Play your idol, mate.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm hearing John's name. Yeah.
Yeah, from my own mouth. No, I'm not like that. Yeah, no, I'm hearing your name from people.
That's right.
Yeah, so you want to play that.
I'm not too keen to see John go because I think he trusts me the most of anyone at this point. I'd be surprised if he didn't. That being said, the way he's acting isn't very conducive to making allies. I'll be honest, I think John trusts me probably the most of anyone, and I only say that because I think I might be the only person, at least of the ones he's in on the tribe with, that hasn't like either voted him out or he hasn't flipped on or something like that. John's been pretty steadfast. He's playing the idol this vote.
Oh yeah.
He's saying this is what he's saying.
Yeah. Look, and that doesn't shock me at all.
Everyone just wants to complicate things too early. It's just too early, and there's no need for it. So it's chaotic because people are making it chaotic, and that is annoying.
Yeah, I'm still going for Eden.
Yeah.
See, if we're talking about people who are strategic threats, to me Andy is a much bigger threat because he stirs the pot and he walks around talking strategy that confuses people.
You guys told
puts
me that
people
up
off.
earlier.
Yeah, I've always.
I found it really unpredictable.
You've got people like Andy who, for no reason, just want to throw random shit into what should be really simple. So I'm just damage control managing down there primarily and trying to calm everyone the hell down.
Everyone else seems to be gunning for Eddie.
I think he is more of a threat than John. But
Why?
like, just like strategically. But this entire time I've
John's
wanted
been
to
voted
work.
out and come back again.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also he's proved on your side that he's just like an agent of chaos,
That's what
which
I
is
mean.
just
Like,
worse.
I just think whereas Eden,
Yeah.
nothing Eden did worked.
Yeah.
For me, the ones that I'm not comfortable with are Andy, John, Aiden, and I'm ready for all 3 of them to be gone. So much chaos.
I know. This one's hectic, isn't it?
When there's so many different people around, it's going to be very hard to find a mutually agreeable outcome for everyone. So there are going to be some people left disappointed, when this vote's done.
Definitely playing his idol today.
Game on, Rolls.
Come on in. Wow. Welcome. Loz, I'm going to start with you. So you've won well, not the first individual immunity, but a pretty important individual immunity. Firstly, how do you feel?
It's great.
Do you think that makes you a threat in the game, Loz?
I think people are going to see this as a threat anyway. I don't think immunity or not management has any effect on it, and I was so mediocre in every single team challenge that we did beforehand that I don't think this one unique niche immunity win will change the way people see me physically.
Okay.
So, as we were saying in the challenge, historically the merge vote is quite chaotic. So, Andrew, what did happen back at camp? Was it chaotic back at camp?
I think that was to an extent. I think people obviously haven't seen each other, people meeting new people. I think it was the first time I met Bethany, for example. And there's probably the same situation for other people. So I think, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Well, interesting. So, talk us through it. Like, what did happen when you got back to camp, Bethany?
There was chaos. There was definitely a lot of groups filtering off and having conversations. My main goal was just to talk to as many people as possible and meet all the people that I haven't met yet. I think good conversations were had, and we'll have to see how things go.
So John, do you think things are going to stay along old tribal lines? How's this looking? How do you think this vote's going to play out?
Absolutely. I'm convinced that the yellow tribe are strong and they're pegging off the black tribe. The Currawongs are in danger. So we are 7-4, and that's how I see it playing at the moment.
So, Sab, as a former Ginninderra tribe member, how does that make you feel when John's saying that?
I mean, on paper, it does seem that way. We've got 7 and the original other one, the original Currawongs are, in the minority.
Yeah.
So I can understand why he's feeling that way.
Yeah.
I think there's been a couple names thrown around, and I think John's got into that a little bit. That's where he's basing his assumptions on at the moment.
So, John, do you think there was anything that you could do to try and swing that majority over to your side? What have you been doing to try and keep yourself safe?
Eden was probably on my target list from the last vote. So I'm happy to put his name out there, and he knows that. And he said, "Well, what can I do to save himself?" I said, "Vote a yellow off. Let's find a yellow person
to
vote off."
Right, so...
I don't think everyone was really happy with that response.
Sure, of course.
Well, I'd be willing to vote off a yellow person, but I don't think you're going to vote off a yellow person, John. I think...
If I had a name, Eden, I would.
Yeah? I don't know if that's necessarily true.
No, absolutely. I told you I wouldn't put your name down if I had a yellow name, which I thought the majority was going with.
Okay.
And I'm not feeling that vibe.
Yeah. So I guess the reality of the situation is that it probably is going to be at one of the former worlds tonight. I'd be very surprised if I didn't see my name written down tonight. And yeah, that does make me very nervous.
Yeah, so the name that I'm hearing is not a yellow. It's not Eden.
Okay, so it's one of the other...
One of the other two.
One of the other two,
And
yeah.
I don't particularly want to vote them out. So at the moment, in lieu of another name, I'm voting Eden.
Thanks.
Eden, is this a tit for tat situation?
Yeah.
Are you gonna...
Yeah. Let's open the floor here. Does anyone...
It's no secret John and I voted for each other at the last tribal council, so there's no hard feelings. I do actually appreciate the directness and the honesty there. But...
And because I want to stick with my alliance and true to my word, I'm not going to vote that other person out whose name is being bandied around.
Right. So, Aiden, you are one of the original Currawong members. So, It's interesting though, because you would have spent more time in your swap tribes than you did in those original tribes. Why do you think that's not actually playing a factor in the game at the moment?
Well, I think the first thing to say is I reckon John is referring to me as that person you might not want to vote out, whose name is possibly out there, which, if so, is a bit unfortunate because, you know, like you said, I did spend a lot of time with many old, Canberra members on my last swap tribe, and I thought I'd formed some pretty good bonds with them. Obviously, there are people I hadn't met from the other tribe and didn't get a great chance to talk to, but I am a pretty loyal person, an honest person, and I feel like it would be a bit of a shame for me to go out just because there aren't any other options. I hope that's not the case. I really do. There's a lot of people I still want to work with here.
And Oscar, there's got to be other ways of figuring out who to vote for rather than just the other tribe. Like, there's got to be threats in the game, social threats, physical threats. Are they the things that you're looking at now as well?
I think it's always a factor. I think it's the same thing. It's always a myriad of reasons. I don't think anyone ever gets voted off for being a physical threat.
But is someone just getting voted off now because they're not in the old Ginninderra tribe?
Yeah.
That seems like one reason. Is there multiple reasons for this as well?
Yes, I think there's multiple reasons for this. Yeah.
Can you give us some more? Because at the moment we're just getting, I don't know.
We're trying to understand.
I'm just hearing that, it's old Ginninderra.
Yeah.
What are some of the other reasons? Or Ed, can you give us another reason of how your vote's going tonight? Or why you're making the decision you're making?
I think the decisions people are making have got a bit more forethought to them now. People are starting to think further on towards the end game.
Okay, so if that's not along old tribal lines, what is that?
Yeah, so it's who's going to be a threat for the Democrat? What kind of votes can we organise now that might have everyone on board? People might be thinking about easy votes versus tougher votes that might get rid of some threats later on.
Finally, Todd, I just want to ask you, do you think this vote is setting you up for the long game? And what is this vote about for you?
There's been a lot of talk at this tribal about a big majority or the old Canberra tribe. I don't see things that way. I see that there's a group of people that have a similar thought process that has nothing to do with old tribal lines or a big majority. It's actually just about people who have a common understanding about what's best for their game at this point in time. And it just so happens that I think that's quite similar across the board.
Lovely. And is there anything anyone else wants to say before we do vote?
Yeah, I would like to say something.
Sure.
So I wasn't planning on using this. Congratulations, you have won the Defector Advantage. This power can be presented to Dan and Liv at Tribal Council before the votes are cast. If you play this at the merge vote, you or the person you play this for will be safe, you won't cast a vote, and will immediately go back to your camp.
Alright, thanks Eden. So just to clarify, this advantage means that Eden will not vote, but he cannot be voted for. So Eden will go back to camp now, and then we'll vote. So Eden, you can help me out.
Good luck.
Alright, yeah, head out that way.
Head out that way.
Yeah.
Alright.
Hopefully see you. Remake the copy for us.
Alright, so Loz, you do have the individual immunity, so you cannot be voted for. Everyone else is fair game. Aiden, you're up first.
Yeah, mate.
John, I'm really sorry. I just keep on ending up to vote. Like, I have to vote for you. I'm really sorry. Really like you, John.
It was going to be Eden.
I really didn't want it to be you, and I really hope it's not you. I'm really sorry that we couldn't make this work.
All right, we'll go count the votes. All right, if anyone does have an idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
I'm hoping that's an idol.
All right, so just to confirm, John, you are playing this for yourself?
Yes.
All right, then you can sit down. All right, and I can confirm that this is not a hidden immunity idol, so all votes cast against John will still count. We'll read the votes. All right, first vote, John. Second vote, Aiden. Bethany. 1 vote John, 1 vote Aiden, 1 vote Bethany. John. Aiden. Tied. 2 votes John, 2 votes Aiden, 1 vote Bethany. John. Aiden. Tied again. 3 votes John, 3 votes Aiden, 1 vote Bethany. John. Aiden. Tied again. 4 votes John, 4 votes Aiden, 1 vote Bethany, 1 vote left. The 6th person voted out and the first member of the jury. Aiden. Aiden, the tribe has spoken. You will have a say on who wins this game. Head on out.
Seems like the patriotism is still running deep at the moment, but is that patriotism going to win you the game? You can head on out. We'll see you soon.
What happened, I screwed myself, unfortunately. It was a split vote between me and John, and I put my vote on Bethany. So if I didn't do that, it would have gone to a re-vote and I probably would have stayed. I needed to talk to some of the people from the other swap tribe a little bit more than I did. I sort of just got stuck at one end of the camp. They all got stuck at the other. I didn't probably communicate with them as much as I needed to, and unfortunately, yeah, that's probably what did me in the end.
Sorry, mate, I'm at the bottom of the barrel. Can't do much more down it. I think it's worth going.
You know, it's just been a crazy journey, really, to go from nearly being the first one out to at least making the merge and now being on the jury. You know, if you told me, I guess, when my name was being read out that first tribal council, I'd end up here, I probably would have taken it. So, as disappointing as it is to go in this fashion, I'm glad I at least made it this far. I think Oscar is a really good chance to win this game. I think he's a good player. I think he does want to make a move, and you know, unfortunately, I think, you know, circumstances have stopped him from really bringing the best out of himself. But I think the time's coming where he's going to really take the bull by the horns here and you know, take the game on. I should have just played it safe, and I didn't this time. I regret that.